Stop ignoring your financial education, because whether you realize it or not, it's quietly killing your future. The reason most people never become wealthy isn't that they're lazy, unlucky, or untalented. It's because they're financially illiterate. They don't understand how money works. They don't know how to make it grow, how to keep it, or how to use it as a tool. And the system prefers it that way. You were never meant to be financially free. You were meant to be financially functional. Just educated enough to work, to earn, and to spend, but never educated enough to escape. Because if everyone understood money, no one would stay trapped in debt. No one would sell their time so cheaply. No one would believe that working 40 years for a retirement check is the only path to success. But here's the truth. If you don't take your financial education seriously, you're not just missing opportunities, you're destroying them. Every dollar you mismanage, every investment you avoid, every year you delay learning about money is silently costing you decades of freedom. From the moment you were a child, you were taught everything except how to manage the thing that controls your life. You learned how to solve algebra problems, how to memorize historical dates, how to pass standardized tests, but not how to build wealth. You learned how to be an employee, not an owner. You learned how to work for money, not how to make money work for you, and now you're wondering why you feel stuck. Why no matter how much you earn, you still feel broke. Why your debt keeps growing, your savings keep shrinking, and your dreams keep slipping away. It's not because you're incapable. It's because you're uninformed, and the world doesn't forgive financial ignorance. It punishes it, quietly, ruthlessly. Every mistake compounds. Every missed opportunity grows into regret. Every bad habit becomes a lifetime cost. That's why you must stop ignoring your financial education, because ignorance doesn't protect you, it enslaves you. Let's talk about what financial education really means. It's not about memorizing stock tickers or learning how to time the market. It's about understanding the rules of money, because money is a game, and if you don't know the rules, you lose by default. The rich know the rules, the poor don't. That's why the rich get richer even in recessions, even when the economy collapses, even when others panic, because they know how money moves. They understand assets, liabilities, leverage, compounding, and risk. They know that wealth isn't earned by hours, it's earned by ownership. Meanwhile, the average person trades time for dollars their entire life, never realizing that time is the least scalable resource they have. You can't work enough hours to become free. You have to make your money work harder than you do. That's what financial education teaches. How to escape the endless trade of time for survival. But let's go deeper, because lack of financial education isn't just costing you money, it's costing you control. Think about it. How many times have you felt anxiety when bills arrived? How many nights have you lost sleep wondering if you'll have enough? That's not just financial stress, that's financial slavery. And the worst part is, most people live that way forever. They work jobs they hate just to pay for things they don't need to impress people who don't care. They buy into a system designed to profit off their ignorance. Credit card companies, banks, lenders, advertisers. Every commercial, every algorithm, every special offer is engineered to make you spend, not build. And without financial education, you don't even realize it's happening. You think you're making choices, but you're being controlled. You're not managing your money is managing you. And here's where it gets painful, because you're not just paying for your ignorance now, you're paying for it later. Every decision you avoid today becomes a debt you pay with time. You think you can learn about investing later. You think you'll start budgeting later. You think you'll build wealth when you make more money. But every year you delay, compounding works against you. A person who starts investing $200 a month at 25 will retire with more wealth than someone who starts investing $500 a month at 35, even though the second person contributed more. That's not luck, that's math. The cost of inaction is invisible, but it's massive. And most people won't realize it until it's too late, until retirement comes and there's nothing there, until emergencies hit and there's no safety net, until opportunities appear and they can't afford to take them. That's what ignoring financial education does. It robs you of future options. You see, financial ignorance doesn't just make you poor, it keeps you dependent. The less you know, the more you rely on others. You rely on employers to decide your worth. You rely on banks to approve your life. You rely on the government to help you. And every layer of dependency takes away a piece of your freedom. Financial education gives that back. It gives you confidence, clarity, and control. It's the difference between saying, I can't afford it, and asking, how can I afford it? It's the difference between surviving the month and designing the year. It's the difference between working for money and having money work for you. But most people never make that shift because they're addicted to comfort. Learning is uncomfortable. Thinking long-term is uncomfortable. Facing your mistakes is uncomfortable. But guess what's more uncomfortable? Being 60, tired, broke, and full of regret because you never took the time to learn. And here's what most people don't realize. Financial education isn't optional anymore. The world has changed. The old system, work 40 years, retire with a pension, live off savings, is gone. Wages don't grow as fast as inflation. Jobs aren't secure. Savings accounts don't protect you. If you're not financially educated, you're playing a game where the rules have changed, but you're still using a playbook from the 1980s. The rich are adapting. They're using leverage, investments, assets, and technology to multiply their wealth. Meanwhile, the average person is working harder for less. You can't outwork the system. You have to outlearn it. Let's get specific. Here are the 5 areas of financial education you can't afford to ignore. First, understanding cash flow. You need to know where your money goes. Every dollar, because what gets tracked gets controlled. Second, understanding debt. Not all debt is bad, but uneducated debt is deadly. You must know how interest works, how credit scores affect your future, and how to use leverage the way rich people do, to buy assets, not liabilities. Third, understanding investing. You must know the basics of stocks, real estate, business, and compounding. You don't need to be an expert, but you need to understand that the earlier you start, the more time becomes your ally. Fourth, understanding taxes. The rich don't avoid taxes illegally. They avoid them intelligently. They know the rules, and because you don't, you pay for it. And fifth, understanding protection. Insurance, diversification, and risk management aren't boring. They are survival tools. If you ignore them, one bad event can erase decades of work. The truth is, you can't complain about money if you refuse to learn about it. You can't say you want freedom, but avoid understanding the system that takes it from you. Financial education isn't about greed, it's about dignity. It's about being able to make choices without fear. It's about having options when life hits hard. It's about building something that lasts. If you don't learn, you'll always be at the mercy of those who have. The rich study money like it's life and death, because it is. Money touches everything: where you live, how you eat, what opportunities your children get, how much time you control. Ignoring it is like ignoring oxygen and wondering why you can't breathe. Let me tell you something powerful. The moment you start learning about money, your life changes, not slowly, immediately. Because financial education doesn't just teach you how to make money, it teaches you how to think differently. You start seeing patterns: why some people stay poor, why others grow rich, why the middle class struggles. You start understanding that wealth isn't luck, it's logic. It's patterns, systems, and discipline. You stop chasing quick wins and start building long-term plays. You stop consuming like a victim and start creating like an owner. You start asking better questions, and better questions lead to better lives. But here's the catch: knowledge alone isn't enough. You have to apply it. You can read every finance book in the world, but if you don't act, you'll stay exactly where you are. The goal isn't to be a financial philosopher, it's to be a practitioner. When you learn something about money, use it. Set up an investment account, track your spending, automate your savings, talk to a mentor, take small, consistent action. Because knowledge without execution is potential wasted. The 1% aren't smarter, they're just doers. They act on what they learn, they take risks. They fail, adjust, and keep moving. You can't read your way to freedom, you have to act your way there. The tragedy is that most people will ignore this. They'll watch this video, nod, agree, then go right back to scrolling, spending, and surviving. They'll keep saying, I'll start later. They'll keep hoping things will somehow improve, but hope is not a financial strategy. Discipline is, education is, action is. If you want to change your financial future, you have to change what you feed your mind. Stop filling your head with distractions and entertainment. Start feeding it knowledge, strategy, and skill. Because your brain is your greatest asset, if you use it right. Now imagine this. 10 years from now, you've been learning and applying financial education consistently. You understand money, you invest monthly, you have multiple income streams, you're debt-free. You sleep peacefully because your money is working while you rest. You make decisions out of confidence, not fear. That's not fantasy. That's compounding knowledge. It's what happens when you decide to stop being financially blind. But imagine the opposite. You keep ignoring this message. You keep avoiding learning. You keep saying later. 10 years pass and nothing changes, except you're older, more tired, more trapped. Which future do you want? You have two choices: stay financially ignorant and be controlled by the system, or become financially educated and control your life. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need to be rich to start. You just need curiosity and consistency. Start with one book, one podcast, one course. Learn about investing, about cash flow, about how the rich think. Apply what you learn. Share it, teach others. Because once you understand how money works, you'll never see the world the same again. Financial education is the great equalizer. It doesn't care about your background, your past, or your current balance. It rewards those who learn and punishes those who ignore it. You can start broke and become wealthy through knowledge alone. That's the beauty of it, but only if you start. So stop ignoring your financial education before it's too late. Because ignorance doesn't just cost you money, it costs you freedom, it costs you time, it costs you peace. And if you keep ignoring it, you'll spend your life working for those who didn't. But if you start now, if you commit to learning and acting, you'll look back years from today and realize this was the moment, the exact day, your entire financial life changed. Stop ignoring your financial education, because your future depends on it. And the longer you wait to learn, the longer you'll stay trapped in the game you were never taught to play. Learn the rules, change the game, own your life before it's too late.